Who do you think you are? Clarissa froze. No one had ever heard him speak to her like that. Her hands trembled as she held the phone to her ear. Desmond, why are you shouting at me? We do this every year. What is so special about that old sofa? But he didn't answer. His chest heaved as panic filled him completely. Without another word, he ended the call, grabbed his briefcase, and rushed out of the room. Within hours, he had boarded the next available flight back home, his mind spinning like a storm. When his convoy finally arrived at the mansion, Desmond stormed into the living room, his eyes wide and desperate. He looked around frantically. Everything was new chairs, new tables, new curtains, but the old sofa couch was nowhere to be found. Where is it? He demanded. Where did you throw it? The workers exchanged confused glances. Sir, we dumped everything at the city's waste site, just like Madam instructed. Take me there. Desmond shouted, his voice echoing across the compound. They rushed to the dump site together, his heart pounding faster with every turn. But when they arrived, the spot was empty. The sofa was gone. Completely gone. Desmond's knees weakened. He staggered backward, clutching his chest. I'm finished, he whispered. Then his voice rose in anguish. The dollars. The pounds. The euros. They're all gone. Tears welled in his eyes as he fell to his knees in the dirt. That was the money for the next election. The money to buy votes, to pay off our supporters, to bribe officials, everything. My career is over. His wife, Clarissa, had followed him quietly, still unaware of what was happening. When she heard his words, her face turned pale. Desmond. I didn't know, please, forgive me, she whispered, kneeling before him. He turned to her slowly, his face hard as stone. Forgive you? His voice was cold, sharp. Never. From now henceforth, pack your things and leave my house. This marriage is over. Clarissa broke down in tears, begging him to reconsider, but Desmond turned away. His world had collapsed, and in his rage, he blamed her for it all. The workers stood quietly, staring at one another. Whispers filled the air. If Madam is no longer here, who are we to remain? One by one, they packed their belongings and left the mansion. By evening, the once bustling house stood silent and empty, its walls echoing with the sound of Desmond's downfall. What Desmond didn't know was that the very sofa he had thrown away in pride had become the lifeline of the man he once ignored, the homeless father struggling to survive with his baby. Then Desmond told himself, it is not over yet. I must find whoever took that sofa. And when I do, I will use my power to forcefully jail him and get my money back. His voice trembled with anger. His face tightened. He paced back and forth in his mansion, thinking of how to track the missing sofa. He called his political allies, detectives, and security men, promising rewards to anyone who could find it. But little did he know, the man he sought was not a thief, but a struggling father whose tears had reached heaven long before that day. As the crowd cheered, she raised her certificate high and said, This is for my father, my hero. He is the reason I became the woman I am today. Tears rolled down Amos's face as he watched from the front row. He knew then that every tear, every hunger, and every humiliation was worth it. Because sometimes, the same stone the world rejects becomes the cornerstone of a miracle. This story reminds us that life is a circle, whatever a man sows, he will surely reap. Desmond, the proud and selfish politician, believed his wealth would last forever. He despised the poor, forgetting that life can change in a single moment. If you were Amos, what would you have done with that money? And if you were Desmond, would you ever forgive yourself? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that remind us